this article basically highlights how more than $1 trillion of crypto assets have vanished, gone, done in just the last 6 months. I think November was the peak. So
that's happening, by the way, in everywhere. The private market and public market, not only crypto. Just to be clear.
When they pull it out, are they putting it into something else that is obvious?
Well, here, let's. There's another article right here. Natalia's going to pull up. So 40% of Bitcoin investors are now underwater on their investments. 40%. Okay. So it's down huge. I think it's down 55% from its November peak. Now, Layah, you probably know the number where it is exactly at the minute, but I think it's under 30,000 today, unless it creeped up. What's the number?
It's hovering. I mean, I've seen it at 29. I've seen it at 30 today.
Okay, so it's right around there. So I got my facts right. Great to our stat guy. So, Layah, make sense of what's happening right now. November was a peak. 2020, we printed out $5 trillion. People were like, holy shit, the dollar's becoming worthless. COVID, lockdowns, everything. Crypto, boom, escalate. Bitcoin, everything. 2021 was the year of NFTs. I never even heard an NFT. Now it's like NFT this, NFT that. You have every schmuck on the street telling you to buy an NFT. Pump the brakes. Layah, make sense of what's happening in the Bitcoin and crypto markets.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the Fed just flooded the system with money, right? You mentioned it, unprecedented amounts of money. People were putting their stimulus checks into Bitcoin. And naturally, there was a bull market going on. You had the halving back in 2020. Generally, a bull market tends to, that's the Bitcoin halving, so the amount of the supply cuts in half. Naturally, a bull market tends to follow after that. There's a lot of things going on. The Fed flooded the system with money. People had surplus cash to throw into it. So with all that surplus cash plus an impending bull market, naturally it's going to go up. Now we're at a point where the Fed is starting to take inflation seriously, and people don't have that surplus cash. It's actually being pulled out. We're also going through times of crazy geopolitical issues. There's a war going on in Europe, which the US is heavily involved in. Markets don't like war. People definitely like to withdraw their assets from the most riskiest assets.
When there's chaos, doesn't that lead to, like, we need some stability, some security? Let's go into Bitcoin.
No, because Bitcoin is still a risk-on asset, right? Like, it's only 13 years old. And so naturally, people are going to withdraw their money from it. Like, during times of uncertainty, do you feel comfortable holding Bitcoin yet?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean,
you don't want to. You're uncomfortable.
I don't have all my assets in Bitcoin. I've got less than 5% of my net worth in crypto, so I'm good.
Right. So, but you're uncomfortable with the idea of holding it during times of instability. Bitcoin is going to eventually be an uncorrelated asset, but it's not an uncorrelated asset yet, so it's still going to be affected.
Uncorrelated asset is
correlated to geopolitical events.
So in the market, in the public market.
So Bitcoin is still correlated to geopolitical events, the market.
Yes, it's an immature market.
Okay, so you're saying that the world is in chaos, the world is in shambles, and Bitcoin
and inflation. If I didn't make that clear, inflation is at a 40-year high, right? Everything is more expensive. Fuel, gas, everything is up. Milk, bread, everything is up. Do people really want to be investing into something like Bitcoin right now, which they don't really understand? It's a bit of a risky asset. No, they want to hold that money because of inflation. So I think that's the biggest problem. So going back to what happened, you had an impending bull market, given we had the Bitcoin halving. So it's like a 4-year cycle, and then the Fed flooded the system with money. People put their stimulus checks into Bitcoin. They had surplus cash, and naturally that's not healthy. That's not good economics. And now the market, not just in Bitcoin or crypto, but the market generally, as Antonio was saying, is feeling that. The S&P 500, NASDAQ, everything is just down.
NASDAQ's definitely down.
Can I build a little on what you said, which is see things from this perspective. So Bitcoin generated a lot of millionaires, right? A lot of people with money. That money throughout time, let's say 2015 to 17, has been, 2x, 3x, 4x. And then that money has been distributed throughout other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Solana, whatever. So what's happening now, it's like we created a whole, cryptocurrency market with all of these coins and new companies and new chains existing. And what's happening at this moment is that people, all the crypto millionaires, all the people that have money will now again reinvest in Bitcoin, right? Like buy Bitcoin at a great retail price. And basically, when the market comes up again, the first coin that will win and 2 or 3x will be Bitcoin, right? Again, that's like an easy notion to understand. So what people sometimes try to get caught on is like, okay, is Bitcoin defensible or Ethereum defensible throughout these, cycles? Of course it is, because the level of community that has built throughout the years is massive. So there's no, like, as I said in the beginning, the money generated from the first and second and third generation of Bitcoiners allow the crypto industry to exist. Now that money, has been wiped off because all of those cryptocurrencies were, either to zero or they have no utility. Now the people with money will go back again to Bitcoin, will reinvest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin will become again the number one currency. And, by January, as I was telling you, we'll get to, 60K or 50K again and, get to number one again.
So one of the things you just said that I want to highlight, you said like the billionaires, the crypto millionaires, they're buying this shit half off.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like they're not scared.
And that's how it works.
If they believe in Bitcoin
And,
or they believe in crypto and they're multi-millionaires and they're billionaires, they're like, let the fools sell. I'll take the Michael
Exactly.
Saylors of the world.
Exactly.
And
The
the Mike Novogratz
the time
of the
to
world.
buy is when there's blood in the streets.
Of
There
course.
you go.